Hey you all, welcome to Fibertown. I am Emily, Chain of Fools, and this is episode 55, and it is the 26th of February 2014. Welcome to everybody. I often don't say it because I feel like I know you guys, but thanks for watching me, and if you are brand new, thanks for stopping in. If you are new, there is a thread for your finished objects every month where you can post a picture and be entered for a chance to win a pattern every month. So just a few more days for February to enter your FOs. Can you believe that? So, welcome. You can visit me on my blog, which is www.fibertown.blogspot.com, and that's fiber with an R-E, or on iTunes, or on the RAV group, which is Fibertown, and where else? I'm on Instagram and lots of other places. So let's get down to business. I've got some administrivia, and then I have some FOs, whips, spinning, up and coming, and acquisitions. Oh my goodness, I have acquisitions. So let's settle in. I have my beverage of choice today. I just brewed some mint tea because it's afternoon. And yeah, I'm enjoying a beverage. It's snowed here the past 2 days in the morning, so it's been lovely. But I'm thinking it's our last snow of the winter. Alrighty, Alice is on her vent, snuggled down for her nap, so let's get started. Welcome to a solitary knitter who is Anne from Canada. And she is so named because she says she has no knitting friends. I'm sad for you, Anne, because my knitting friends are awesome, and knitting is a totally social activity for me, and what a surprise that was when I started knitting. But yes, so I do hope you find some knitting friends. But good news, her granddaughter is 5 years old, and she's going to teach her how to knit soon, so maybe that will be her knitting friend, she says, so fingers crossed. Okay, a few thank yous. Bonnie, who is Fads, thank you so much for the donation to the podcast. Your actual dollars, hard-earned money, means a lot when you support the podcast, as far as, and that money always goes to hosting and or shipping and prizes and that sort of thing. So thank you so much. Okay, and I also want to say thank you to Quilt and Knit Girl, who is Michelle from Texas. And I will show you a little bit more why I'm thanking Michelle in acquisitions. Yes. So, the ASPCA fundraiser is going great. Keep donating if you can. Every $1 gets you, every $1 to $5 gets you one entry, and every subsequent $5 gets you a second entry, and you can win awesome Lorna's laces donated by memers. You can win the Etsy gift card that Selcat and I are donating, and that's $25. Your odds are still pretty good. I think last time I checked there were only about 17 donations, but they've been awesome donations, and just keep it coming. I think you have at least another month. I think it ends in March, end of March. So check the Ravelry group for the information about how to donate if you would like to. I'm sitting here looking at my show notes and realizing that I meant to mention a few new podcasts that I've been listening to and or watching. So just let me make a little note of that. And I hope I can remember all the new ones that I want to talk about. Oh, I remember one. It's not new. I think I've mentioned her before. Stitched Together. Thank you for the shout out. That was wonderful. I really enjoy her podcast, and I'm happy I'm starting to hear them a bit more frequently. She's a UK podcaster, and I really, really like her podcasts. So check out Stitched Together. All right, so the rest I'll get to later, but I wanted to say thanks for the shout out. And do you guys watch the Mustache podcast? Steph knit a pair of collie wobbles during the Ravel Linux, and they look awesome. So if you haven't seen them, go and check them out. I'm super thrilled. I always love to see versions of the collie wobbles or herbaceous patterns. And in the future, I hope to do some more designing. I have some ideas. They don't always work out, so I've had ideas that haven't worked out, but I have some new ones floating around, so we'll see. All right, FOs. I have finished my snuggles, and those were made for the Snuggles thingy. What is that called? From the Yarnivore podcast, Snuggle Along. She collects dog blankets. This is not mine. My friend Leanne knit it. She entered it, and I'm going to take it to the shelter when I go for her. I sewed one. It's like a double fleece. Alice likes this one. And this is the one I finished this week. It is a granny square. It's huge. Very big granny square. Just a traditional granny square, and it's all acrylic, and I held the yarn either double or triple. It's a random acrylics. Very cozy. Smells like my hand lotion. This one was Granny's favorite dishcloth. And then I have another one that's already out in the car. Alice has decided she was going to sit on it in the car. So I will put the rest of those in the car and take them to the shelter as soon as I can. Okay, that is it for FOs. I've still been monogamous. So let's get right into it, shall we? Works in progress. The autumn's end. I finished the main part of the body, and I'm working on the sleeves. So let me show you what I have for the body. Here it is. Now, this is by Alana Dacos. It's from Botanical Knits, and it's this beautiful leaf lace. And I commented last week that it looked like egg crates, especially on the inside, the unblocked lace. You can see that up here. But what I did is when I got to about here, I just threw the thing in the sink with some soak. And I just wanted to make sure it was going to fit, it was going to look okay. And you can see that I let it dry, checked it out, I tried it on, and then I knit a few more inches till I had the length I wanted. And it feels great washed, and it's going to be great. You can see a difference in the lace. I didn't block it aggressively because it was still on the needles. I gave the needles a bath as well. But I just needed to reassure myself that things were going to come out okay. So, what am I knitting this out of? This is my hand spun. This will be my first hand spun sweater. And this is a fin wool that I purchased. I purchased 20 ounces? No, it was either 16 or 20 ounces of fin wool from Finnegan's Flock, which is a shepherdess in Pennsylvania. And I picked this up at one of the Uniquities fiber farmers markets. I spun it woolen 3-ply. It's about worsted DK, maybe. You know, it varies, it's hand spun. But it's not the softest, but it is mine. And I don't mind wearing it against the skin. So there is the body. And I've started the sleeves. I am kind of knitting them 2 at a time. There's the first one. With my lovely little, like the assortment of stitch markers. I got Boston Terrier, mushroom, and cheese. See the cheese? Anyway, that's like a Swiss cheese. Over here I have a Jelby, a Dowager Countess of Grantham, and a little tuna roll. So I'm doing them just so they'll be identical. I don't usually do sleeves 2 at a time, or not 2 at a time, but simultaneously. So I'm knitting up until 1 increase on one of them. You can tell I've done a little bit more on this one. I'm knitting up to 1 increase, and then I put it down and I do the other set up to that increase, and then I switch off, and yeah. Sometimes it's confusing. I'm not a big fan. And it also doesn't feel like I'm making as much progress. I mean, together, look, it's more than half a sleeve. So, but I'm hoping they'll be very similar, and not that I've ever had that as a problem in the past. I don't know why I'm doing it this way. But I started on size 5s, 6s, and now I'm up to 7s. And these are Addy Turbo 12-inch needles. And these are fine for just plain stockinette, but it is not easy to do slip-slip knits and knit 2 togethers. and, you know, the double decreases sometimes that you have to do in this pattern. So, not a huge fan of these. I don't know how it's going to go because I'm increasing now. I'm going up. But it's a really well-written pattern, and so you have these, this is where you do your increases, and eventually if you have enough stitches here, you incorporate them into another repeat of the lace. And it's a very well-written and designed pattern, I think, so I'm happy with that. And I hope I get to wear it soon. It's going to be so warm. Even though it's a lacy sweater, it's going to be so warm with that woolen spun yarn. So that is the Autumn's End. And the same thing with the body. I've skipped around on the needle sizes. I've started small. Well, did I start small? No, for the body I started bigger because of my bigger badonkadonk, and smaller on the top. Now, just let me make a comment about that. First, I need a sip of tea. If you have seen The Fat Squirrel Speaks, her latest episode, she goes on about how bras can, some people think that bras can be evil, and there was a pseudo-scientific study that talked about the benefits of not wearing one of those undergarments. And I've long been a proponent of not wearing one of those undergarments when I can. So, for example, when I go to knit night, it is just a given that it is the end of a long day. I'm in somebody's house, a friend's house. I'm not wearing one. And that is why shawlettes are so useful. You can just drape them over the, you know, the potentially offending areas, and they stay in place, you know, no big deal. And everyone's comfier. Everyone's fine. So yeah, I just refuse to wear one at the end of the day. This is my wingspan shawl. That I knit out of fiber optic, Paintbox Gradient. I got last year at Maryland Sheep and Wool. And anyway, that was a really random little tangent. But my point is, knitting is great for an alternative, if you like to go that route. Anyway, so that is my work in progress. And man, I gotta start something else or you guys are gonna get bored with that Autumn's End. I haven't had a lot of time to knit lately. Happily, my dishwasher seems to be fixed. I had the 4th repair guy here today. And, you know, I had to make a fuss and get some refunds. But he says it works. I haven't actually done a load yet. My point being that I have just, when I have been at home, I have been doing like early spring cleaning. The whole family got the plague, except for my son. He didn't get it. But we've had a month of just some illness in the house, so I've been disinfecting and like moving furniture and cleaning under it. Today I'm going to take the TV, we have one TV, I'm going to take it down, I'm going to move the stand out. Oh my gosh, it's so dusty back there. So I've just been doing deep cleaning. So 2 days ago, I didn't sit down to knit until 8 o'clock at night. It's so strange for me. So I've been wanting to concentrate on that sweater because nothing would have gotten done on it if I hadn't just been monogamous. But I'm ready to branch out a bit and do some new stuff. So let me show you about my spinning though. I do have new spinning. You all saw my Aurora in the Clouds. Those are my Gourmet Stash Poonies. They had Merino, Bamboo, Yak, and Angelina. I got 111 yards. Oh, and there was Sari Silk as well, duh. And those are those gorgeous pops of color. Oh, here we go. Gorgeous pops of color. So half of the Poonies were predominantly pink tinged and half were predominantly blue. And you can see a couple of these strands where, let me see if I can find one where they mixed together. How about right here? I don't know if you can see that. This is just gorgeous. I think it may have been my favorite Gourmet Stash so far to spin. maybe. Just wonderful. And I'm thinking it might go well with my Sakura. Of course, it doesn't really look like a great match here. But this is not as fluffy and woolen as this one is, because this is more silk and alpaca, so I think it's more drapey than fluffy. But they're about the same grist, and they both have pinks, so I'm toying with the idea of something with those two together. My other spinning is some Shetland, and I plied and finished that this week as well, and I got 322 yards of a 2-ply, and it's gorgeous. This is Shetland I got from Mediseld Farm. Believe her, I'll link her in the show notes. Is it mediseldfarm.org or .com? I think that's her website. Look at this. It's spun so fast and so gorgeously. I adore it. And I think it would make an awesome, maybe Piper's Journey. It's a Morit color. Sorry, I'm going all over the place. A Morit color, natural Shetland, and it's soft and it's bouncy. It's got a tiny hint of crunch to it, but it's soft. So that's, I think, going to be some shawl. I have a secret, it's not going to be secret anymore, a secret desire to be a historical reenactor, like a fiber reenactor. Like, if I were, I would knit this into a shawl, and I would spin on a great wheel and talk about fiber. It's my new career goal. Okay, so that is it for spinning. So what is next? Oh, that is not up and coming. Well, this is sort of a spinning thing. Gotland, again from Mediseld. Look at that silvery gray, another natural. It's got a bit of a shine to it. And I went to the Fleece and Fiber Source book again today to talk to you about Gotland. This is a place in Sweden, and I was watching this show while I was sick. I installed the History Channel app on my iPad, and I binge watched The Vikings. And, you know, I'd seen bits of the History Channel before, years ago, and man, it was basically Nostradamus's predictions, you know, on rerun constantly. It was bad stuff. Nothing against Nostradamus, it just wasn't well made. However, this show, The Vikings, is really good. And they actually mention Gotland, except they call it Jotaland. And what I really like about the show, one of the things I like, is you see a lot of the daily life of these people in, the 10th century, I want to say. And they're using a lucette. They're weaving, there's spindles, there's wool. So, and then they actually mention the place that the sheep comes from. And it's a northern European short-tailed breed, which is the same as the Finn. It belongs in that same category. And it's more comfortable and next to the skin garments that would ordinarily be expected from the characteristic fiber diameters. So it can be spun woolen or worsted, obviously. And this is top, I believe. The staple length is 3 to 7 inches, and it's often shorn more than once a year, producing a 3 to 4 inch staple, which is optimally workable for a variety of processing methods. The locks themselves, this is what the sheep looks like. Oh yeah. Or maybe that's a ram. The locks themselves are super curly. Look at that. And they're mostly grays and charcoals. And what I thought was very interesting is that there's a strain of the sheep in New Zealand, and the wool from those sheeps was used to make the elven cloaks worn by the main characters in all 3 Lord of the Rings movies. So it's an ideal choice for garments that, I'm quoting, an ideal choice for garments that need to be lightweight and durable, drape well, and possess a subtle gleam that suggests their magical qualities. It's So I need to think about how I'm going to spin this. I don't know yet, but it's coming. Gotland, Götaland. Alrighty, what else is up and coming? This needs to be cast on into some socks. Vanilla-ish. I might do a little patterning on them, like maybe the simple skip socks. I might do those. And I'm going to use the Fish Lips Conceal for these for the very first time. This is Lollipop. I don't remember the colorway, but it's based on all the subway lines in Washington, D.C. And that green is coming out. It's much more of a Kelly green in real life. The orange line, that's the one that's nearest my house. Okay. It wouldn't be me if there weren't some gourmet stash going on. So, Maleficent is going on my Turkish. And that ought to be fun. I'm slowly amassing a collection of gourmet stash yarns that are black based, but that have other colors as well. So those will all be knit into something together. So that's what's up and coming. Let me talk a little bit about podcasts that I've been discovering and liking, and then I'll show you my acquisitions. Alrighty. Okay, I don't want to screw this up. Hang on, I'll get my iPad out. With everybody moving off and on, Downcast and iTunes and whatnot, I used to like to watch everything on Downcast. I would have my audios on my phone and my videos on my iPad. Now I'm doing Downcast and Feedly and YouTube, and anyway, it's less easy to keep up with everything when you're just skipping around different places. Okay, The Hungriest Knitter. She's only got a few episodes up. I think she just put her third one out. She's Rachel. She's from DC, and she's got a delightful manner and presentation. And her thing she talks about is it's food and dishes she's been cooking. And before I had kids, before I was into fiber, I was food obsessed. And now I'm kind of like, these people want me to make them dinner again. But yes, I used to love to cook and read the newspapers on Wednesdays for the food section and get all the food magazines, the good ones, and I'd cook all weekend long. And yeah, it's different now, but those are skills that I have that still serve me. And I would make my own recipes and I'd write them down. I have my own recipe books. So she has a little bit of that going that sort of reminds me of how I used to be. And she's knitting great stuff too. So I would definitely check her out. The Hungriest Knitter. She is on iTunes. And I'm not sure where else, but I bet you could find her. Yeah, so that's a great one that I've been enjoying. The other one, I don't think I mentioned this one before. Owl Knit With You. Owl like the bird. This is, I want to say Rebecca. Yeah, Rachel was Hungriest Knitter. Rebecca, I think I'm getting that right. She's Evil Twin 2, I think. Owl Knit With You, and you is like the sheep, EWE. She's hilarious, and she's knitting some awesome stuff, and she's sort of, I believe she's a beginning spinner, and I always love to watch people sort of discover and learn new techniques. That's fun. So she's great too. And I know I'm forgetting somebody. Hungriest Knitter, Owl Knit With You. I mentioned Stitch Together. She's not all that new, but she's great too. Anyway, that's all that's coming to mind right now, but there could be other ones that, that aren't on Downcast anymore that I need to look for, but yeah, old podcasts fade and new ones come, and I like them all. Okay. There are some amazing people out there, and you all are one of them. And so is Michelle, Quilt and Knit Girl. She said, I have a few things that I'd like to send to you for prizes and your own use if you like. And can I get your address? Sure, prizes. I need to do more knit-alongs. I need to do more prize giveaways. I feel like I've been a bit lacking in that lately. So absolutely, send them my way. I did not expect the 5-pound box or however big this is. This is insane, but I love it. And it's all really good stuff. And I don't know if I should show you all. Maybe I'll just show you a few samples. But what I'm thinking I'm gonna do is make a special tab or page on Ravelry in my stash. And if you are a monthly FO winner, if you'd like a pattern, you can still have a pattern. If you do not want a pattern, you can go and choose from this page. Maybe I'll just put them on my DStash page. And I'll send you some of this fiber or yarn, because some awesome stuff. 2 of these, 750 yards of merino lace weight. Eight ounces of Surrey alpaca. Surrey, not Waiakuia or however you pronounce it. This is the longer locked one. Corgi Hill. Do you know how long I've been eyeing Corgi Hill? This is gorgeous BFL silk. Look at those colors. Malabrigo lace, Charua colorway. 3. Folks, there is a loop bat. It is chocolate colors. Look at that. Look at that. It's a loop bat. What else? Highland Handmaids. It's a sock blend with bamboo. There's some Highland Handmaids fiber in here too, which I think I might have to keep because it's purple. Sorry, I'm out of frame, but it's for a good cause. Look at this. This is Fleece Artist, which I've heard of but never seen in person. This says come undone, but this is Handmaiden Casbah, which is a wool, it's a cashmere blend, MCN. So this is really good stuff. And I'm barely scratching the surface here. This is from Hilltop Cloud, which is a place I've heard about. It's in the UK. It's Massham, which is a long wool. Let's see. 2 skeins of Blue Sky Alpacas, Melange, 100% baby alpaca. Oh my goodness. 2 braids of Highland Handmaids. This is purple and brown. This is Katie O'Royale. The Painted Tiger. Ooh, that's bouncy. What is this? Targhee. I like Targhee. I've spun it before. We've got a mohair. 2 skeins. I mean, this is great stuff. Great stuff. This one has a New Zealand possum blend, possum sock from Cherry Tree Hill. This could make you a lace weight sweater right here. This is Scacel merino lace. I think it's maybe 1,500 yards. $13.75, close enough. One of those Hannah Fettig lace sweaters, yes. Oh my goodness. This, 4 skeins of Manos. And this is great stuff. This is silk wool. I think this is a DK. Look at how pretty that is. Yeah, so there's more. There's a sweater's worth of silk. There's a sweater's worth of Barocco Remix. Michelle, I can only imagine the epicness of your stash, that you could give away this great stuff. But my viewers thank you. I thank you. It will be put to good use, extra good use. It is in good hands. Thank you. Amazing, amazing, amazing. Uh-oh, I didn't ask permission to share that, share your name. I hope that's okay. I'll double check. All right, folks, so I hope you enjoyed my little Stashapalooza, and until next time, you all take care. Bye.